13th of April 13th, and we are here with you to talk about LGBT news of the week or whatever we feel like talking about. Our panel today is Michael Garza. Wave, Michael.
Hi.
Tell everybody hi. David Taffet, who is the senior staff writer for Dallas Voice. And
Tell your phone to shut up.
my phone is turned up loud, so we're going to turn that down.
And I forgot to turn on the
timer.
The timer, the evil timer, that's Israel Luna, who just joined us. He's doing double duty today as a panelist and as the switcher. Is that the
Yes.
proper term, switcher?
Yes, that's why we have a crappy background, because I couldn't figure it out.
Looks
That's
fine to
why.
me.
I worked very hard to make it a solid black.
It's very nice, but, you know, it's like you said, why ain't got to be black?
Exactly.
And I'm
Hashtag
Tammy
BLM.
Nash. I'm Tammy Nash. I'm managing editor for Dallas Voice. Israel has a cough. So we're going to talk today about a lot of different things. I think wanted to start off with our cover story for this week is Officer Amber Roman. I did it. I
You
misspelled
did
it.
again.
Officer
The
Amber
cover almost
Roman.
went out saying Amber Rowan from the DOD, Department of Defense, and
She's our new LGBT liaison
and
from the
instead
Dallas
of
Police
on
Department.
the job, it almost said on the boob.
It never said on the boob. You just can't read without your glasses.
So it's
but
Ronan.
Roman.
Roman.
It's real easy.
Okay, Roman.
Amber Roman.
Roman. Got it.
And it's
Got
like
it.
Why can't we
DPD.
get this together?
Dallas
I'm gonna
Police
let David tell us a little bit about her. Hopefully, we're gonna have Officer Roman on the show,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
before too long.
sure, she'll come.
I'd love to have her just as a semi-regular guest, coming on ever so often to talk about what's going on. But I'm gonna let David tell us a little bit about her because
Amber's
he did
great.
the interview.
She brings all kinds of new energy to the role of police liaison. Laura Martin, who's been our police liaison since
A long time ago.
since Lynn Albright left, and Lynn
That was a
left
long time ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like around the turn of the century,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I
Um,
think she was the first official.
She was the first
Lynn
official.
Albright was
the way
first
the
official.
position got started was that back in the early 1990s, a lesbian named Micah England had to sue in order to just apply for the Dallas Police Department because
You weren't allowed
No,
to
because
even
you were,
apply?
You were violating the law, 2106, the sodomy law. prevented-
Class C misdemeanor.
It was a Class C misdemeanor.
Wow.
Isn't that just like black women in voting? Like you couldn't even fill out the registration card?
Wow.
That sort of thing. So
Well-
she sued, she won. And then in about 1994, we passed our first non-discrimination ordinance, and that was non-discrimination in city employment. It was a really ugly fight. People were showing up at City Hall with big red buttons that said, "No homo cops." Nice, huh?
Wow.
And bringing their kids to show
Um,
them the family values that they
Do
stood
they not
for.
know how tough lesbians are? I would want a lesbian protecting me and my neighborhood.
That-
Just
U-Hauls
saying.
are hard to drive, and they drive them really well.
Not to mention rent.
So anyway,
They are.
Laura has the position has kind of followed Laura around wherever she did. When she was a bike cop riding around White Rock Lake, she was also the liaison. When she was promoted to detective, moved with her to the detective's office. Anyway, our new police chief thought that the liaison for the LGBT community should be with the liaison for the Asian community, Latin community, African American community, and that's in community affairs. So that's where they moved the position. It would have been a demotion for Laura. Now, Laura is still going to be the expert and the point person on hate crimes, because that's one of the things she does as a detective.
Can I officially ask if she's a part of our community?
Yes.
Laura, yes.
Okay. Didn't know.
Laura is,
As
Lynn
is-
was,
as is
and
Amber.
is.
Okay, got it.
As is Amber's supervisor, as is the head of the department. We have a lot of police lesbians.
Yeah.
Is the point.
Gotcha.
But Amber's going to be devoting her
safe.
time
Mhm.
working with the LGBT community. She's just been busy the first few weeks of her job, going to different groups. Like she went to the mayor's task force. She's been to Stonewall Democrats. She's just any of those types of groups that are out there. She's going and just meeting people. We had one case where there was an attack in Oak Lawn a couple of weeks ago. Really not an attack, a holdup. It was an armed holdup. The guy did shoot the gun, but into the ground.
It was really heavy.
Right.
I had no idea this even happened.
Yeah.
You should read the newspaper.
I should.
But
Crazy.
when the detective didn't get right back to this couple, Amber called him right back and, looked into the records and, he's on vacation a few days. But that kind of thing, if you're real worried about something that happened, you want to get in touch with somebody, it's nice to have a liaison.
Right.
Somebody who's in our community that you can talk to. And Amber did a little bit of follow-up, called them back, and she became the link between the two. There have been a number of cases where we've gotten involved, and there was one, it was a murder case, and we were going through the victim's Facebook page, and Amber could have done this, but or Laura at the time, but I was translating from gay into police. He just wasn't understanding what was on the Facebook page and where the guy was. He didn't speak gay.
Oh, the house down boots.
Yeah.
So there are lots of cases where having a liaison really helps. But I think it gives our community confidence. And when you don't have confidence in the police, you have somebody that you can go to.
Good. Because I don't have a lot of confidence in the police, only because of... Yeah, and only because of when I had first opened the studio, I realized quickly that at least the people that I dealt with from the police department and the fire department, they are bullies, and they will make it very difficult for you to know the rules of what you can and cannot do with your building or your business, so they can write you tickets. And
Amber's least favorite thing to do is writing tickets.
Yeah.
Well, you have to understand when you're saying the police.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody calling you there?
Yeah.
Nobody
when
important.
We can't stop and say the police and expect that to apply to everyone on the
Right. And I get that,
right?
yeah.
But it you get that impression, if you have to deal with this area of the police department or this part of the department, these people in this part of the department, and you have a bad interaction with them, then that reflects on the whole police department. But we have someone who's a member of our community, our LGBT community, who knows how to communicate with us and who knows how to communicate with the police. And if we're having a problem, and sometimes that's all it is, and that's the I think that's true with any organization, any agency that you deal with, whomever that is that you're dealing with face to face, they represent that whole organization to you. And if you think they're being a dick, then that whole organization is nothing but a bag of dicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Because there have been a few times where I thought to myself, I wish I had a liaison that I could go to and ask, can we have this type of event? Can we have this type of event? Because, after I moved back from San Francisco, I know that over there they have all types of street, parades, and like they have something like the fetish ball. They have something like Folsom Street Fair. And I kept thinking, I wonder if we could start like a mini version of that and then see how it goes. But who would I talk to about, what can we allow nudity wise? Is there something that, even though it's against the law, if it's under like with the blockades and everything, and where people are paying to go inside, so you know what you're getting into, is that okay? And there isn't a place that I can go to find all this out.
Actually, Amber's a perfect place to start for something
Okay,
like that.
that's good to know.
For something like that, or for anything that anybody wants to do within the LGBT community, or especially along Cedar Springs, or it doesn't even have to be on Cedar Springs, but something that you want to do.
Or maybe if you're just
for
an
the community.
LGBT person who wants to do something that's not specifically LGBT, but this is the LGBT liaison, and she can at least point me in the right direction.
Right,
Got
because
it.
one of the things that you need are permits. You need, depending upon the number of people expected to attend, you have to have security, garbage collection, other things like that.
Right.
Barricades.
Barricades.
But even like content, like what can you or can you not do?
And she'd be a great place to start. She might not have the answer, but she can always point you in the right direction.
And
So, got it.
That's one of the reasons I think it's important for us to have, not just on the police department, but it'd be nice on the fire department in the
There is
city.
one.
I know, but
Fire department.
do they have a liaison?
Uh-huh.
Never heard of this.
Well, we'll see. Let me say, I had a meeting with about 10 people from the fire department, and we met for 2 hours because I was bitching and complaining because they were writing me tickets for things that they told me to do. Mm-hmm. So they would say, you need this, and I would do it. Or they would say, if you don't have this, we're going to write you a ticket. And I'd say, okay, well, then let me get this permit. Well, I'm waiting on these other people, or I'm waiting on the fire department themselves to give it to me, and they haven't. So they come back to check, and then they would write me another ticket. So I said, enough of this. And so I went and told them, you are writing me tickets for things that you told me to do or things that you have not done for me. How is this making sense? Mm-hmm. So,
by having that meeting, you did the right thing, but you're right. If it was something, especially in the police department, having that liaison stepping in there for you is convenient. It's helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it more of like a mediator or Siri kind of role?
Her job is undefined, basically. Her job is to help people in the community who need to do something that has something to do with the law.
She's a communications point. She's she's where you start to communicate with the department, because what David said, he said it in jest, but it's serious between speaking gay and speaking cop.
Oh, no. I was really translating that page for that.
But there's a difference in language and things that we understand just as part of our community because it's part of our culture. Police officers might not, but we have someone there as a point person who can translate what they're trying to tell us and what we're trying to tell them.
And so who is she there
for? Communication.
For business owners?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly she's there for business owners. Is she there for just community groups? Yes, she's there for community groups. For individuals who are held up, yeah, she's especially there for some. If you're the victim of a crime, she wants to at least know about it, and she'll follow along how it's progressing, even if you don't need her help in something like that. So wherever you would need her help.
Interesting.
So
the sisters could use somebody like that on their information card, because we don't really.
The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence is who he's talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They are a community service organization.
Well, we don't really connect on that level, or at least we haven't yet, or we haven't in a while. So that'd be nice to get her on the.
You guys
and
should probably get in touch.
And in 10 seconds, you need to run and
yes,
do whatever it is.
Okay, we're going to go for a break real quick, and Israel's got to run over there and be our switcher, change his hat. But we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
And it'll be a minute or two before he does that switching.
Everybody smile. La la la. And he'll tell us when we're clear.
Sure.
Maybe.
And maybe we're clear. It looks like we're clear.
Yes. Okay, cool.
I'm Israel Luna. I've been a working filmmaker, editor, and writer since 2001. I've produced 10 full-length films, screened at some of the biggest film festivals like Robert De Niro's Tribeca Film Festival, and made deals with LA distribution companies, resulting in my films being in circulation nationally and internationally in movie theaters, digital formats, and retail outlets like Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and many others. It's been a crazy ride. A rough ride, but a very rewarding one. It feels good to wake up every morning knowing that filmmaking is my job. In saying that, remember, it is a job, but a fun one that I love doing. People have asked me many times, how do you do it? How can I make a living making movies? Well, it's not something I can easily answer because there are so many facets to it. And this doesn't just mean filmmaking. It's about making a living off of your artistic expression, whether it be filmmaking, acting, painting, dancing, or anything else you may be good at. Take what you love doing and monetize it. Which leads me to today. I've decided to begin a weekly workshop to help guide you through all of the ins and outs of making a living from your art and creativity. I'm here to lead you into being your own boss as an artist and creative, just like me. I'll do my best to have you live, breathe, eat, sleep, and most importantly, live financially on your creations and artistic expression. I'll see you there.
And we're back. I believe we're back, aren't we?
We are back. And
My
Israel's
professional
gonna come
switcher
racing
says-
into the set.
Says we are back. We've got people watching. Hi, y'all. We are so
Hi,
happy
Jesse.
to have y'all with us. There's Israel. Okay, we've been talking about our new police liaison, Dallas Police Department liaison, Officer Amber Roman. You can read the interview with her. See, I got it right. In Dallas Voice or at
I went out
dallasvoice.com.
to lunch today. It was kind of fun. All these police officers were at Mama's Daughters today, and they were all reading the paper because Amber was on the cover of Police Officer. on
Oh,
the
how
cover.
cute.
So
Yeah, it was.
we've talked about that, but Israel had mentioned he wanted to talk about what's up with Facebook and what's going on. So
Yes.
tell me what's
Are
on
you
your mind
for or
with
against?
Facebook.
I have to decide.
For or against what?
I don't know. I
For-
disagree.
Congress. Are you for or against Congress?
For or
I
against Congress?
disagree.
It's okay. Well, a couple of things about that subject is, first, I am kind of confused about why people are complaining about their lack of privacy of the things that they post on
Israel, you ignorant
Facebook.
slut.
Exactly. And I just keep thinking how, yes, Facebook knows where you are. Yes, they know where you had lunch yesterday. Yes, they know you're on vacation. Why? Because you shared
put
it.
all out there.
Because you wanted everyone to know. So now you can't. I'm wondering what they're complaining about.
They're complaining about it's more about things that you don't necessarily just post, but like if you're sitting there and you have all this stuff on the side and you click on this or you play this particular game, and without realizing it, sometimes you give these games permission to post for you or to look at everything in your information and look at all the ads that you're, and they gather all that information, all of the ads you might click on and look, all of the special pages that you go look at,
Yes.
all your little proclivities that are over here, your hobbies. They keep track of all that, and then they aggregate that information, and they would sell it, I think. Is that
I think the reason Facebook's so annoyed is because with
Cambridge
Analytics,
I think they didn't make money off of that one. I think Cambridge Analytical stole it from Facebook, and that's what they're pissed
Well,
But
that's why-
Cambridge Analytics used all that money to target people to help sway people's opinion in the election. That's part of the whole.
Now, that's part
Russia
of what I
knows
don't understand.
Very, very hard to do
No, it's
personally
not.
because like my thought of it because they have their algorithms already set out. So when they come out with a new algorithm, Facebook is already telling you, oh, you know what, you like more Democratic posts, and we're just going to take away all the Republican posts. So you don't have to worry about that.
No,
So that's
it's-
part of it.
But they already have. It's the outside agency using that to take.
Right,
the
and
Russian
that's
troll farms to target to you.
And Mark
stuff like
Zuckerberg
that.
did say, yes, he apologized to all his Facebook users because he said this was a breach of trust with this company. He didn't want that to happen. Now they took all of the information or whatever agreement they had of sharing of information, and then they went and took and did something else with it. And so it's partly his fault because he trusted them. And I think that's like the gist of why he's in front of Congress right now. It's just interesting how people are complaining about their lack of privacy on Facebook.
About complaining on Facebook about Facebook.
Every piece of information that they have, you've given them.
Correct.
So I'm kind of about that too.
For the most part, but yes.
There's things, I'm going to give you an example. I was talking to someone in the office, and I'm like, we were talking, Chad Mantooth is our advertising director, and he and I were talking about really cool Dallas Voice covers. He was making a slideshow for us, and I'm like, you've got to see, this is a real old one. It's from 2009. It's this photo I took. I really love it. I found it. I showed it to him, and I'm like, I really like that photo. So I found the original image file, and I'm on a site called ViewBug. I put my photography on ViewBug, and I posted that picture on ViewBug. I think it's really cool. And the next thing I know, people on Facebook are going, what burned? Where was this? And I'm like, holy crap, that was from 2009. It was the Stampede in Fort Worth, but how did it get here?
Yeah.
ViewBug posted to my Facebook for me, and I didn't realize I had given them that permission to do.
Yeah.
And people are not paying attention. And they do that. They give all these sites permission to use their information
because they're too lazy to read the terms of agreement.
But sometimes without realizing what you're clicking or not clicking.
Right.
One thing people do that I
changed it, by the way.
I can't believe people do this. They check in everywhere they go. First of all, I don't care which bathroom you're using.
I do.
As long as you wash your hands.
Well, I have to say,
I want to know. I want to report. Is it clean?
From being in the arts and entertainment industry, what I've realized is everyone loves an audience. They love to have an audience where you are going to speak to when you go live on your stuff. It feels good.
That's just my mom.
It feels good to know that you're going to get reactions. You're going to get immediate comments on it immediately, and people like that. And so, like when getting back to the ads and how they collect all of your information. Facebook is one of the only places that I can think of that show me ads that are of interest to me.
Because they pay attention to what you're...
Horror movies, movie trailers. I'm like, I'm loving these ads.
One thing I do is I check the things that I have interest in, and I unclick every single one of them. I just unclicked a couple of hundred ads this week. I just don't want to see their ads. If they want to feed me ads, let them send random ads. I don't care. I don't look at ads anyway. That's a terrible thing to say working for a newspaper, but I don't. And the
irony
ads really
in
don't
it
bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just learned that in class the other day. I think it was yesterday. Thursday, yes, yesterday, about the interest and how Facebook feeds you ads and what they think you're interested in, and one of the
based on what you've
clicked or what you share the most or whatever their algorithm is.
Even outside their program. I mean, I go on Amazon. We're talking about buying some new camera equipment for the office, so I'm on Amazon looking up prices and different cameras and so forth. Turn around and all of the ads for these cameras that I'm looking at
magically appear
on Facebook.
And what I don't understand is why people are upset about the things that you share, because when you put it out there, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook or Instagram or anything. The moment you put something on the computer out on the intranets, it's out there forever.
Can't get it back.
People can do whatever they want with it, manipulate it, and you have to be okay with that. And if you are not okay with that, don't put it on the internet. Period.
It's like one thing they're constantly asking so that we can update your information so that you won't lose your login. Give us your phone number. I never give them my phone number.
I don't either.
Me either.
I don't either.
Okay, then I'm the only stupid one.
But it's like everybody wants an audience, but then everybody wants to be pissed off because you're looking at them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I have friends who, while they're away, they post all their pictures of their vacation. You are telling people you are not home.
Right. That's true.
Don't do that.
Yes, but Bigfoot is my house sitter while I'm gone.
Right. Exactly.
You can share those pictures when you get back.
Yeah. See, back in the day before Facebook,
Bigfoot
they
and
would
Killer-
tell
killer dog.
they would tell you not to put on your outgoing voicemail, "Hi, we are not home right now. We're on vacation until next Friday." But leave a message. They would say, "Don't do that because now people know that you're not there." So
Leave a message while I'm feeding my pet tiger, who roams the house free when I'm not here.
exactly, to protect the house.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. A lot
And
of
the
this
cobras.
is common sense, which is not so common, is it?
It's so expensive to have common sense. I mean,
doubt.
it's
doubt.
I know
It
you're
is.
taking a
It's like,
course in it
put
right
put
now,
your
aren't you?
photos when you get back. Post on
See,
your
and on
photos.
Instagram, all my photos are either a week or a couple of days delayed. Only because when I get to them, there's a line of photos I need to post. And they're not current. It's not like I'm at the beach right now. It's just I took 20 pictures when I was at the beach and I post one a day and that's it.
Yeah.
And see, and I'm okay with posting a lot of what I do daily because I have to market myself and I've learned to
Yes,
market
you
my
are your
projects.
product.
Exactly. And so I have to do things, especially if it has something to do with an upcoming film that I'm doing, because I went and interviewed this person. So guess what? I'm going to take a picture of that person going, "Oh, I just secured the rights to this movie that will be out later this summer," just to build anticipation. So in that respect, I love Facebook for that. The how easy they've made it for you to create an event page and get in touch with family members from other states. There's so many good things
Well,
about
and especially
it.
for
Yeah.
us, how easy it is to post a story. You click one button, put a comment about it, and your story is posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
People
So-
see it and we get attention. Let me ask you all a question real quick. As gay people, LGBT people, is this a good thing for us? I mean, do you feel like that Facebook and being able to put your whole life out there for people to see is a good thing for us?
As far
As
as
a gay community,
Mhm.
Yes.
does it make us more visible? Does it make
Yes.
us more
Vulnerable?
real,
Yes.
vulnerable,
Yes.
real to people? Does it make us?
Well, I think Facebook, in a way, is a lie detector
Oh yeah.
because you get to know people's true feelings about things. Because when you see them in person, "Hi, how are you doing?" But then they post things,
sometimes.
How are you?
right? But
Sometimes,
then,
yeah,
when they
I can see
post
that.
something, you can, I've thought many times, I'm surprised that person posted that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
Girl, unfriend. I did not know you felt that way.
Right. So
and-
isn't that amazing that it's almost like there was this comedian a long time ago that talked about if everyone had side effects posted on their body, just like a pill bottle. And so Facebook in a way is like that side effect because yes, this person might, be like attractive or attracted to you or whatever, but then you get to see their posts and you see their beliefs and what they think and then you can decide from there if you want to get to know this person better or not, but I think it's a really great thing. It's just unfortunate that of course people are going to abuse it and people are going to use it
always a side
for
effect.
attention. Exactly.
And the whole
Always a
thing
side
with
effect.
Cambridge Analytica is manipulating the election. I'm not sure how. Are they just reinforcing people's beliefs?
They're spreading bullshit
Yeah.
to people that they think are going to be
gonna buy
into it.
susceptible to agreeing to their bullshit. or
Okay, because
believing.
So
that
they're
these-
Fox News
did
on a
you
different
see
level.
any
Sort of.
pro-Trump crap during the election? I didn't.
Well,
I mean-
girl,
Oh my
I didn't
God,
think you were
yes.
going to listen
You
to
did.
it
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
because
see,
people
Oh my
see
gosh.
that they would see that meme and they would share that meme, and I'm like, Lord, Annie, take that off. Don't watch
See,
that channel anymore.
Annie, go get your gun.
I come from a small West Texas town, and I see all of their posts and what they're
and
sharing.
See, in my family, I'm the conservative one. You have 6 seconds to get over there.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
look
ahead.
it out.
We'll be back with more of whatever this is that we're doing.
We'll be back in a second.
And well, we can still keep talking because he's not even sitting down there. Now he's sitting down there, and we'll be back.
Well,
in
nothing gets
just a
passed by
second.
you.
Sharp as a tack, this one.
Hey, I've been doing broadcasting for years.
I'm Israel Luna. I've been a working filmmaker, editor, and writer since 2001. I've produced 10 the biggest film festivals like Robert De Niro's Tribeca Film Festival and made deals with LA distribution companies, resulting in my films being in circulation nationally and internationally in movie theaters, digital formats, and retail outlets like Walmart, Best Buy, Target, and many others. It's been a crazy ride. A rough ride, but a very rewarding one. It feels good to wake up every morning knowing that filmmaking is my job. In saying that, remember, it is a job, but a fun one that I love doing. People have asked me many times, how do you do it? How can I make a living making movies? Well, it's not something I can easily answer because there are so many facets to it. And this doesn't just mean filmmaking. It's about making a living off of your artistic expression, whether it be filmmaking, acting, painting, dancing, or anything else you may be good at. Take what you love doing and monetize it. Which leads me to today. I've decided to begin a weekly workshop to help guide you through all of the ins and outs of making a living from your art and creativity. I'm here to lead you into being your own boss as an artist and creative, just like me. I'll do my best to have you live, breathe, eat, sleep, and most importantly, live financially on your creations and artistic expression. I'll see you there.
Hey, he didn't say one, but I'm going to assume that we are
One.
back live and with DVTV live on Friday
One.
the 13th. I heard you, David. And Israel
I've
will
tried to
come
be
sliding
helpful.
into first base there, and he's second. There he is.
Yes, and happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Friday the
Thank
13th.
you.
Yes, I'm glad
We've been
we're-
talking about, we talked a little bit about our new liaison officer, Amber Roman, with the DPD. And
She wrote DOD 3 times.
no, I did. I only wrote it once. He wrote it once. Kevin did. And we've been talking about Facebook and the situation with Facebook and why you want to grab about not having any privacy when you put all your stuff out there on the Facebook. But Israel pointed out that, you know, there have been hearings, congressional hearings with Mark Zuckerberg this week, and it's been enlightening to hear, to watch, to read about this and realize just how very technically out of touch some of our Congress people are.
Yes.
So-
Now, before we get into that, can I say you can tell that Mark Zuckerberg has had media training because, you know, he's not very likable. He's just sort of in his zone and he doesn't smile and he just like everything is like seems very cold and calculated.
Kind of
and
like Brandy.
yeah, right. And
Hi, Brandy. We miss you.
he's been very good, or the way he handled the whole conversation, been very patient and hasn't done any kind of weird, because with the conversations we're talking about, I look at the screen thinking, oh my God, I would not have been able to hold my patience in of this ignorance from these people.
Girl, where you been?
Exactly.
Do you know what's interesting? Do you know which congressperson has lots? She really gets technological things. She's 80 years old. She's our congresswoman. She's the ranking Democrat on the Science and Technology Committee. EBJ, Eddie Bernice.
Okay.
I've had discussions with her. She knows more about anything technological than I do. I mean,
Nice.
she is-
David,
Lots of people do. I get that. But for somebody,
ask David. Wait, somebody ask David about his iPhone.
Where is it?
What iPhone?
What iPhone
do you
What
have?
iPhone do you
Let me
have? Pop
see.
it out. I want to make fun of you on air.
iPhone 0.
Pop it. I
About.
want to make fun
It's
of
a
you.
4. It's a 4. I use.
What's
it
a 4?
I use it for a phone.
That's a paperweight.
Thank you.
It will be before long. No, so my point was, Eddie Bernice could know that this is called a microphone and maybe no more than Sorry, David.
She does though. I mean, I've
Yeah.
been impressed talking
It's
to her.
because she educates herself about stuff. But
And I wish these people did, because it's what was the meme that you were just saying?
I was saying it was a cartoon I saw. It's all of the grumpy old cat, white people's Congress people looking down at Mark Zuckerberg, and they're like, "So these cookies, are they oatmeal cookies?" And you're like, somebody thought that. It's like,
Well, I was-
I don't like oatmeal cookies. Bring
I was
chocolate
talking
chip.
to Michael earlier, and
I don't
and there
recall.
was a congresswoman from Florida who that was kept interrupting him, because she would say, now, I know that Congressman so-and-so asked you if you wanted people to know what hotel you're staying in, and you kind of hesitated, and then you said no. But Facebook, you do share people's locations and where they are, right? And then he's, of course, going to explain it, and he says, well, Congresswoman, it's just a yes or a no. And it's like, no, it's not a yes or a no, bitch. You
Congress,
can,
bitch.
It's okay.
And it's probably
if
not
you
a good
say
idea
yes. It's like
People choose.
You
People
choose.
choose.
If you choose and say yes, tell me where I am.
The reason to
Tell them where I
The
am.
reason to share what hotel you're staying in is
Yeah.
if you need people who read your Facebook to know where you are. Other than that, it's not a
Well,
good
there is
idea
no
to
need
share.
for anything.
Well,
if you
listen,
want to
You
tell
can
them
tell
where
people
you
I'm
are.
checking in at the gym.
If you have a number of people who are supposed to meet you and you weren't sure where you were staying, okay, so I'm staying at the Hilton downtown or something like that.
He doesn't get that part of it either.
No, I do. And I'm saying it's a bad idea to share where you are, what your location is at all times. I think it's a terrible idea.
Well, people do it to say, I'm at this restaurant having lunch.
Right.
Or, I'm not going to say I'm staying at the such and such hotel in room such and such.
Right.
That's kind of stupid.
Unless you're on Grindr, then it's
One of the
That's different.
one
That's
of
not
the
Facebook.
questions that one of the old grumpy congressmen had asked was, so it's a free service that you're providing? And I think he said yes. And he was, so how do you make money? And Mark goes, we run ads.
Well, see, this is actually how he said it, because that's how we would have said it. He said it like this: "We run ads, sir." And I kept thinking, but in his head, he's going, "Oh my god!"
I was like, you better swerve on that bitch. 'Cause
Now that's somebody who should not have been on the panel.
and that's the biggest
That's
thing that's
everybody
pissing
on
me
the
off.
panel.
That's pissing me off is because you're supposed to grill him on what's going on with his company,
And you don't
and
have
it's
to even
involving
look at
everybody
damn
else.
bit of-
But you have no fucking idea how he's even
He
doing
never
it.
looked at Facebook.
So
before,
who's
he had
looking-
No business.
Well, who's looking more like the uneducated person here?
Exactly.
Mark, for a small mistake that cost him a lot.
They all probably had one intern that prepped them for a couple of hours before this
Then they should have
conversation.
given
This
them a list
this
of
word
questions.
means this. Well,
Right.
Congress
But
they're too important for that.
But even those list of questions,
Are
they're not
they?
going to understand, because there was a woman who used the phrase social categories. And she says, so now how many social categories are there? Because you have 2 billion users. And she says it with attitude. And he sat there and he said, I'm not exactly sure what you mean.
And he said that several times when the
There was
questions
something about
were
date-
kind of odd.
Because they're social categories. I've never heard of that phrase before in my entire life. What is that? But they think that they know what they're talking about by saying these technical
They
words
They have
from
one.
their intern.
They have one Twitter account, and they're a freaking technology genius.
and they
Bro,
don't run
shut
that.
up.
They
I
don't even
know.
run that. Because somebody's posting their porn on Ted Cruz. Speaking of Ted Cruz, this is
He has
one of the
porn out.
No, not that way.
I
no,
hope not.
He there was some tweet where he liked something about a porn. I don't
Right,
know.
right,
It
right.
was, but oh no, he didn't mean it like that. But Ted Cruz is one of the ones that pissed me off this week, asking questions and getting all pushy about you just take all of the conservative information off there and you promote all Democrats and the liberals and you just and just kept on and on and on, and it's like, what, are you afraid to be quiet long enough for anybody to point out that Cambridge Analytics ran your damn campaign, you sorry piece of crap?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Well, he's
and
deflecting.
that's actually
Exactly.
not true. They don't just go in there unless it's sheer just hate and encouraging other people to do violence. Then
something illegal,
they
yeah.
might do something like that. Exactly. Because a friend of mine had posted about, of course, this minister, preacher, whatever you want to call him, who was very upset because Facebook took off his group. And of course, he kept bragging about, well, I have 700,000 followers and blah, blah, blah. But he's all anti our community.
Of course.
And so, of course,
So
I
it's a
put
hate
on there.
group.
Yeah. And it is a hate group. But I posted on there, I said, well, because he was calling us all kinds of hateful things. And then I put those in quotes and I said, wow, I feel so loved by this minister. I said, but he has the right to spout hate all he wants to, as long as it doesn't get to anything illegal.
As long as he's not promoting violence.
Yeah, he can hate me all he wants to, and he can give his opinion all he wants. So I am on his side. Yes, you should be able to hate perfect strangers because of who they love.
I want people
Do it.
like that to have
Nobody
free
loves
speech.
me.
I want them to put out what they believe, because the more you let them talk, the bigger idiots they make themselves.
Again,
out to be.
that
The
side
bigger
effect.
hatefulness, hateful bigot kind of people. Don't stand up there and talk to me about Jesus, who so loved the world, while you are nothing but a hate mongering
I'll teach
fool.
you about Jesus.
You killed Jesus. So, David, in case y'all don't know, David is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago,
Messiah.
a couple of weeks ago, I'm going home to visit my family, my Southern Baptist family,
Oh.
and my Catholic brother-in-law for Easter. I love my family very much. They're wonderful people. So as David is leaving that Friday or Thursday, because I was off on Friday, and he's getting ready to go home on Thursday, and I'm going to be going the next day. And as he's walking out the door, he goes, "Oh yeah, tell your family I'm sorry about that killing Jesus thing." And I did.
Nice.
And my mother gave you the side eye.
Well, now it makes sense that you have an iPhone -1, whatever version.
iPhone 0.
He has a, what are they called? The
A flip
phone.
flip phones.
He did have a flip phone.
I never had a flip phone. I never had a flip phone because
it wasn't a flip-
my previous phone came out before flip phones.
Mm.
Now,
The
what
Zach
happened
Morris
was
phone?
when it fell in my swimming pool, I went to the T-Mobile store and I said, my phone fell in the swimming pool, but I dried it right off. I can't get it to work. And they just said, well, yeah, it's not going to. I said, okay, I just want to replace it. Well, don't you want to buy this that has a camera? And I said, well, will my Canon lenses fit on it? They said, no. I said, then it has no use for it. And they kept trying to sell me all these other features. I said, no, I really don't need those things. I just want
He
to
wouldn't have
replace
an
this one."
iPhone if it weren't for David, take this damn iPhone so we
Take
can
it.
text you.
Yeah,
So I said to them, I really don't use my phone that much. Do you have party lines? And he had no idea what I was talking
What
about.
the heck is a
Party lines,
line?
yes.
Not that kind of party, girl.
And
Not that kind of party.
they said, well, we do have this one. I said, do you have one a little bit bigger? Because I'd like one with a rotary dial. And again,
I think you can get that and
went
put that
right
on your
over
phone.
his
actually.
head.
Nice. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So
All right.
my
But,
cell phone, I want my next cell phone to have a rotary dial.
I think you can.
So you're gonna stay
get
single.
those.
That's a big phone to carry in your pocket.
Is that a phone in your pocket?
It's a huge disappointment if you take that out.
I know we're about to go again for a
We
break,
got
but
about a minute, yeah.
I was just going to say, I really do hope, I'm surprised that the media outlets and the news aren't making, not that it's a joke, but showing the ignorance of Congress with
It is
this
a joke.
subject, because
It is a joke.
I've found it on Facebook, and I found, that way, but not people saying, wow, aren't you shocked and aren't you, almost like taken aback by their lack of knowledge with this, especially when they're going to meet with Mark Zuckerberg. I really hope that it becomes a thing for them to say, you know what, if we're going to, try to be big shots here, we need to know our stuff.
Well, these are the same
Oh,
people that
no
are pushing to charge for the internet. So
There were-
irony.
Because they want a cut
Neutrality.
of it.
There were
They
a few
can't- they can't
senators-
even understand
there were
what
a
it
few
is.
senators like Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota who did know what she was talking about and did have some concrete proposals and things that she suggested. And even when she was discussing with Mark Zuckerberg, he said to her, I don't really have that exact information, but I can get back to you with that. It's something that I know we were studying. I just don't have it with me. So I think some intelligent things will come as a result of this.
I hope so. Hi, Tracy James.
either that or re-election.
We're going to go to break again real quick. Stay with us. I don't know what we're talking about when we come back, but
I
it'll be
do.
interesting.
Oh,
All right.
I know.
Ouija board. Are there any spirits here? I'm leaving.
Hey! You can't remove your hand now, or we'll die. I'm serious.
Men, we invite the Ouija spirit to come over. You don't move your hand. Continue playing, because this is real business. Ouija board. If you're really here, please move to Kung's side.
Okay, we are back for our final segment, our short segment.
And
no,
you
not
know,
the final segment.
It's a shame we were going to promote Israel's new movie that's now at Walmart, but he's not here, so we can't.
Oh no!
talk
Wait!
about it.
Here he comes! Here he comes! And ta-da!
And so we were talking about Congress.
Yeah.
Tell me about your movie, Israel.
Yeah. So starting today, the fourth film in my Ouija experiment franchise is at Walmart now. It's called Ouija 4 Are You Here? And it's pretty much about an app that was created, sort of a Ouija board game app. And then, of course, it releases spirits and then kills people.
Of course,
Well, of
because
course,
it's your
'cause-
movie. Now, I want to ask you. I know the first Ouija was, a movie you made
Yes,
Right.
in Mesquite.
in Mesquite. It was the second one.
The second one we shot in my hometown of Wellington, Texas, up near Amarillo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 3.
3 was called the Charlie Challenge. That was shot in Fort Worth.
Okay. And these are all movies you've made.
Correct.
Now, 4 also you made?
No, so 4 is very interesting. 4 was a film that ITN Distribution, which is a studio that I've worked really closely with for like the last 7 years, and they had a foreign film. I think it was from Japan, and it was a horror film about a Ouija board, and they hired me to hire voiceover actors to do the
dubbing.
English dub. Yes.
Very cool.
And so then when I delivered it, they said, you know what? We think that this would fit well with the franchise because it's about a Ouija board. So we're just going to release it as Ouija 4. I said, okay, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's what that is. So I didn't write or direct it, but I produced the voiceover.
Very cool.
So if you do another Ouija film, it would be 3.1.
Right? I don't know. Probably.
It's gonna be Ouija iPhone 4.
Yes. The
I'm
paperweight
sorry, David.
edition.
Yes. It'll have some old ghosts in there.
Oh, honey, that software.
Do you know what I love about my phone? I get 0 updates.
That's true. They
Because
can't
there's
update
none
it.
available, girl.
Yeah, none
That's
of them
what
are
I like
available.
about it. I hate updates.
So, well, now I
You
want
need to get
tell-
you need to update
No,
your
he
phone.
no, he doesn't.
No.
No.
No?
No.
You just
wanna
need
hear
it to
about it.
text and to phone call, and that's it. That's all
Exactly.
you need. Okay,
Uh-huh.
fair enough.
Occasionally to find a location.
And for me to have something to rib him about,
Yeah, but I have a feeling that it's gonna then be so outdated that it's going to be so slow,
And then I'll give him my iPhone 5S.
You're gonna
Okay.
ask Siri for help, and she's gonna be like, "Girl,
He doesn't have Siri.
I need you."
the only
doesn't
thing
have
I've ever
Siri.
told Siri is to shut the fuck up.
He's not on here enough. He said, "Fuck." He didn't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
just
yeah.
said, shut the fuck up. He didn't
Yeah.
understand that.
Siri
we said.
calls me queen bitch.
I love that. I want to ask you a quick question, Israel.
Yes.
What is your next film? Are you working on a new film?
Yes, actually, during the show, we might actually just have some random person that's going to show up and deliver a film. I just secured anonymously. I just secured the rights to another locally shot film that I really can't tell you too much about yet, but it's a film, and I hope he's not standing outside the door. It's a film that I went to the premiere of, and it was god awful. It was a drama, and it was a musical about rape. And the woman who wrote it, I'm sure that, it happened to her. And I went to the premiere and it was god awful. But then I thought,
We hope they don't watch this show.
but then I thought, marketed differently as a midnight movie and marketed as a comedy, there might be something there because it's shot well. It has a nice budget, original music. It's just that the content is ridiculous.
So you're not going to redub it or
So it's
anything?
like
No.
Reefer Madness.
Yeah. Judge Reinhold is in it.
Oh my God.
He's crazy
Beverly
as a
Mitchell.
loon.
Yeah. Beverly Mitchell from Seventh Heaven. She played one of the daughters. She's in it. And the production value is great. Everything is good except for the content is kind of hilarious.
That's unintentionally.
Unintentionally hilarious. And so I got the rights to it.
Well, of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did. But I mean,
Nobody
when are
gets
you going to
killed in it?
write and film and make a new
Oh, they
movie?
did. Okay.
Yes. The
When
what?
are you going to do a whole new Israel Luna?
Yes,
movie? I'm
Do
looking
your
forward
job.
to this.
You have one job. Do it.
And kill some people.
Yeah, well,
it's- actually, he's got a lot of jobs, but
The zombie film, the Kicking Zombie Ass for
Ah.
Jesus, that one's going to be coming out later this year.
oh, good.
Yes. Excuse me. And the next one that I am actually writing and directing and producing is going to be called Vortex, that I'm going to do through my company, La Luna Entertainment and ITN Distribution. That's going to be my next film that I do from scratch, write
Okay,
it,
that's
and then
what I
shoot
want.
it. And that will be probably mid to late summer of this year.
That's when you're going to start shooting, or
Yes.
Okay.
And this is an alien abduction thriller based on a true story that happened to me.
ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
when you were abducted?
An alien
That's
abducted an illegal
probes.
alien?
Someone
You were the alien.
illegal alien.
How the
what?
fuck did
You were
that
the
happen?
alien?
No, I was the illegal alien. Yes.
Oh.
No, it was a person who had approached me at one of my premieres, and he said, "I have a story idea," and I was like, "Oh, here we go again," because everyone always tries to pitch their ideas.
it's like a doctor. This hurts.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Don't
What do I
do that.
do? What do I
I've got
do
an
for free?
idea. Yeah,
For free.
exactly.
Tell me for free. So I went and talked to this guy because he was friends with my
He was
uncles
cute.
and
Just-
aunts and.
Just say it. He was cute.
Well, actually, he was not.
Okay.
But he was a
Sure.
friend of my
But he's
uncle.
listening.
Right. But it was a
Yeah.
full moon.
He was a friend of my uncle's. And so I went, and what he told me just kind of was fascinating. But the clincher was he looked right at me because I was a skeptic. And I'm like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then he said, I can prove it to you if you're ready. But just know when you're ready, just know you're not going to unsee this. And that's when I was like,
I want to see it.
oh.
So this is all going to be unveiled in the movie, right?
Yes.
Can't wait. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
because it's really fascinating. And someone from a little podunk small town that I was sort of challenging and was answering my questions with answers that I would have never thought were the answer was a little fascinating and made me want to ask more questions. And the more he was telling me, the more I thought, that makes sense. And I would have never gone there in my head.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh, okay. I'm
So
going to write this.
when are auditions?
Later this summer. The casting couch is in my studio.
I don't
We
clean
got-
out.
okay.
Harvey Weinstein here, huh?
Buddy
exactly.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Israel
But-
Harvey.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it. It's called Vortex.
That's very cool. That's
Thank
very
you.
cool. I've been wondering when we were going to see something. I'm going to say something real quick before we go to break. We got about 45 seconds. We did not take time today to talk about it, but David has a story in this week's paper about where things stand with runoff elections, which are May 22nd, right?
Something like that.
And we have Lupe Valdez is in a runoff. We have some other folks who are in runoffs. We have a
Lori
lot of...
Birch.
Huh?
Lori Birch.
Lori Birch is in a runoff. If you're in Lori's district,
In Plano.
Congressional
District
District 3, right? If you're in District 3, you want to vote for Lori on May 22nd. We want to put some LGBT people in office. We've got a lot running. We have a lot more who you need to get out in November and support. Julie Johnson is one of them. Finn Jones. We have the possibility of having a transgender man in the legislature. So
Ooh, nice.
it's time for a break. We're going to come back and say bye, but don't go anywhere. You want to see us say bye.
Beto O'Rourke is even in the running.
Oh,
And he's been
He raised
getting a lot of.
he raised more money than
Ouija board. Are there any spirits here? I'm leaving.
Hey! I can't remove your hand now, or we'll die. I'm serious.
Men, we invite the Ouija spirit to come over. You don't move your hand. Continue playing, because this is real business. Ouija board. If you're really here, please move to Kung's side.
One. I think we're back.
It really bothers you when you don't hear those last two numbers.
I know,
doesn't
because
it?
I want to make sure that I'm not just talking or not, and when nobody can hear me, and that I'm not
We
just
were gonna talk
sitting here
about
when I
Israel's
should be
film
talking.
again, but he's not with us.
All right, tell us real quick. Yoga. Tell me
Yes,
about it.
Okay, so we have a yoga class that happens here at the studio, and it's for men only. And the reason it's for men only, it's because it's a naked yoga class. We were approached by someone saying, what about a trans male, so female to male? And of course, me and my instructor, Robert, who is going to school for dance, and it's all about masculinity and femininity and what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman and everything. We both agreed, if you identify as male, you are welcome to our group. So we posted that on the Facebook page, and the next day we got an email from one of our regulars saying that he would not be coming to class because
He wasn't comfortable.
of the physicality of a trans male, and that would make him uncomfortable, I guess. We of course stick to our guns, and we're like, well, we apologize. Please come to class still and at least try it once, and if it bothers you that much, then I can understand, but
Don't knock until you try it.
yeah. So I just thought that was a really interesting conversation that we have to have now if you have a male or female only anything, you know?
Yeah, and that's true. So we're in our last 2 minutes, and so that was Israel's little bit. But tell us real quick about what you have what you offer, some of the classes you offer real quick, and then we'll talk to
Yeah. Well, during the commercial
Sister
break,
Michael.
you saw we have, I'm having a workshop every Monday. So the last one is going to be this coming Monday at 7:30, which is all about making money off of your art and creativity. And then, of course, we have our yoga class every Thursday evening at 7, doors open at 7:30 and class starts at 8. And then on Sundays, doors open at 10:30 a.m. and class starts at 11 a.m.
All right, Michael, tell us about Michael and what you're doing.
Oh, so I am one of the sisters of the DFW Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. You can find me on Instagram.
Tell us your name.
Oh, what?
Sister.
Nope.
Oh, my sister name is Sister Allegations, and you can find me under on Instagram under my sister Allie.
I was gonna say under Harry Hines overpass.
Under the table.
She likes to keep it classy.
Yes, with a K.
Okay, David.
And next week is our
Home and garden.
Home and garden edition, and I have a home.
With the garden?
Without
With
a
a
garden.
garden.
It has no garden.
I have pictures of it.
Of the garden?
The home.
Oh.
David has an interview that will be in
That's
the,
what I'm
the
trying to
home
say.
and garden. David has
Homo
a
and
home
garden.
an interview with a couple who,
And other than that,
and then he's
I'll be out
gone.
of town. I guess I need to post that, huh?
Yeah, but check in
I need to
on
check in
Facebook.
where I
Make
am.
sure we
Tell
know
us
where you are.
exactly where you
I
are.
will tell you
David
exactly.
Taffet is senior staff writer for Dallas Voice. He's been around
Yeah,
for a
they
very
added
long
senior
time.
When I got old,
That's right.
I'll
That would
allow
make
it.
me senior managing editor because I'm old too.
she's old too. She's
But
older than
I am
am.
Tammy Nash.
Much
I'm
older than I
managing
am.
editor for Dallas
much,
Voice.
Much older than I am.
David's the oldest. And you can catch us in newsstands everywhere. Dallas Voice, we're out today. Officer Amber Roman with Dallas Police Department is on the cover. And you can catch us online at dallasvoice.com. And you can catch us right here every Friday, 4 o'clock-ish for DVTV
And every
Live.
Friday-ish.
Yay! Yeah.
Oh, and we have some new DVTV on the scene coming up. We have a lot of really cool stuff coming up, so pay attention. We'll be on the website. We'll be here.
Awesome.
Love y'all. See you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Y'all come back now.
Yeah.
And we're still on.
We are still on, but
Yes,
we're
we
not
are
really
because
on.
We forgot he has to run